So, and that brings us to the third and final tip, which is adapt. And of course, I'm talking about COVID here. So, this is a screenshot from a dashboard that we worked on for a client. And so you can see that Singapore started its lockdown in early April. We actually increased our exposure. We also got a lot more inquiries in April. So how did we do that? Now, of course, we had our strategy there. We had our established strategy. We were tracking certain goals. We had campaigns in place. We had thought about what testimonials, how to make the page look. And in short, we basically had to rethink everything. Like we had to cross it out, and we had to go step by step by step to rethink. How should we address this? So we changed the product. We started to advertise live Zoom lessons instead of on-premise lessons. We started to show ads for different keywords, like when people were searching for Learn Mandarin online, for example. We included those, whereas previously we weren't targeting that group of people because that's not what we offer. We also broadened the geography, so we went to advertise the lessons in other countries, which may also be on lockdown, and it actually doesn't matter, right? If you can't go to the physical location, then suddenly all of these geographic limits are actually gone. So we took use of, we made use of that opportunity as well. And in the ad copy, we very specifically mentioned, and this was Singapore. In Singapore, they talk about the circuit breaker, where many countries would talk about a lockdown. And so we specifically mentioned that to really acknowledge what is going on and that we know it. We included guarantees because obviously the decision to sign up for anything at all, let alone a language course, is always going to be impacted by the fact that we don't know what things will look like in 6 months from now. So we included an option to switch when in-person classes will start, and people will just know that I can just start studying Mandarin now, and I don't need to worry. If we can't start with in-person classes, I can continue like this, and otherwise I have other options. We also discounted the price. We just wanted there to be zero doubt or friction in people's minds when deciding to sign up. And we saw this as a way to actually an opportunity to increase market share. And of course, we had to rethink the landing page and be very clear about what the offer was. The advantage of online classes, of course, is that you can very easily do trial classes as well and let people experience what it's like. And that was, the trial classes were always a big part of the recruitment strategy, but we used to do them in person. We find that, if you do it online, then there is even a smaller barrier for people to actually decide to come and take a look and see if it's for them. So, I know not all of you work for a small, language school and can make these decisions on the fly. So, this is not something every one of you would be able to implement so easily. But, just look at this search. I did this yesterday, MBA New York. And what I'm seeing is like these ads look like it's 2019. No one mentions, sometimes you do see ads, not here, but, other searches that I did where it mentioned online classes as an option. But no one actually acknowledges that we have a corona situation and, the future is uncertain. It's, no one really addresses the elephant in the room here. And just by mentioning it, you assure people that, hey, I know in your mind you probably don't want to throw away a whole year, but you have questions. You know, how is this university dealing with the COVID situation, and all of these questions. So by mentioning that somewhere, working it in your ad, you gain people's trust. You know, and of course you can't write an essay, you know, in the ad copy, but you can later on when people click, and you can make mention of it on the landing page. And where possible, like, of course we don't know how this pandemic will develop, but we can say, if this happens, this is what we will do. You know, this could be in the form of guarantees, reduced prices. You know, not everyone has the same flexibility, but just communicating what is there, it will really, you know, help to assure people that, you know, they know if this happens, this is what will happen. And it will make people more comfortable to make a decision, because you have helped them to reduce their personal uncertainty. And of course, this shouldn't be just done in the ad, this should be done everywhere, you know, on your website, in your events, in your conversations, everywhere. So, you know, so this is how we modified the ad. So you see that we mention right up front that all classes are now online. Live online, you know, live online Mandarin lessons, maximum 8 students. So we wanted to keep the quality image up, even if it's online. And we mentioned reduced rates. Phase 1 and 2 reopening is actually where Singapore is easing out of its lockdown. And then we included the option. So actually almost the entire ad is about COVID, because that is, even for someone who dares search for Learn Mandarin Singapore at this point, you know, this is going to be on their mind, and we want to connect with that. And the latest news is that this school will be able to resume its, you know, online of its in-person classes. So we'll have to redo everything again. Basically, we'll have to re-examine every single ad. And you know, this is, you know, this is what online marketing is like. You know, it's it can be very hard work, but if you're not willing to do that work, then, you know, just keep your budget. Don't advertise, is my view.